Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
Pretty good.
We're further away from each other than normal because we have adjusted our podcast setup. I'm not sure how well it's working.
I mean, you be the judge of it.
We've decided to detach the podcast equipment from our dining room table, so now it's attached to a box. It's not the same. I'm gonna have to work on this.
It is portable. You could run around with that box.
Yeah, it's definitely more portable, but it's not very stable or adjustable the way when it was attached to the table.
You know, it's not all about the technology. This is about the heart. We get this because it's the heart. We do it from the heart, not from the microphone.
199 episodes in, and we're still fucking around with stuff. Now, GR Dad, when you bump your arm thing there,
yeah,
it makes a weird space alien vibraty sound.
Well, you just did that. That wasn't me.
I'm saying yours did it when you went through there, so be careful not to bump the table because that's going to vibrate the springs.
Hey, I might be screwing stuff up, but in new and different ways.
That's true. Just keep your face close to the mic, I guess. That's what we really need.
Okay.
The cocktail of the week is the Royal Hawaiian. Man, is that a beautiful drink. That's the one I made earlier. We're not drinking it now. We drank it already.
Yeah, it has that purple gin in it.
Yeah, it's pineapple juice, orgeat syrup, which is almond syrup, a little bit of lemon juice, and then it uses Empress gin, which is purple because it has butterfly pea flower blossoms in it. But you can buy butterfly pea blossoms to make tea with on Amazon. It doesn't really taste like very much, but it's blue when you brew it. And if you put acid in it like lemon juice, it turns purple. So you can make these cool color changing drinks. The Empress gin is already acidic, so it's purple. But it's very purple.
Yeah, it looks like it should be sort of undrinkable, but it tastes great, just like gin.
Good, yeah. Let's see. We have many dog updates this week.
We got news for you, and no new dogs, just to manage expectations. I know this is a rumor. I have been in the car sometimes, but no picking up of dogs. We
actually do have a new dog that was crocheted for us. So a few years ago, we collected. Do you hear that sound, your dad?
That's my cable. Hang on. Yes, technically, I'm screwing it up. Okay.
A few years ago, we collected fur from all the dogs. This is the original 6: Hopper Vink, Maggie Jasmine, Riley Queso. Mm-hmm. And we had this giant, kitchen trash bag full of fur that we'd brushed out of them. And
it was all mixed.
It was all mixed. And my project was, I want this spun into yarn. And there was a friend of the squad who is a spinner. And so we sent her the big bag, and she sent us back these skeins of yarn. It's called Shiengora.
Yeah.
Like Angora, but Shien for dog. Shiengora is wool made from dog fur. It's kind of itchy. It seems like it would be really soft like the dogs, but if you made a sweater out of that, it would not be comfortable.
Yeah, Angora is comfortable, but it's from bunnies.
Yeah. Well, this is from Vink. And
she feels like a bunny on the outside. Apparently there's spikies on the end.
Yeah, and it's quite a process because you only use the undercoat, not the outer coat, and so there's a lot of separating. It's quite a process. So then we had all these skeins of yarn, and I didn't do much with it. I made a couple friendship bracelets for people, real chunky friendship bracelets.
That was the style at the time.
It was absolutely not.
The style. It was rustic.
It was rustic and homemade. But I didn't know what to do with it because I don't know how to knit or crochet. I mean, I know in theory and I suck in practice.
And we couldn't get it back into Vink.
So I just kind of had it, and then a friend of the squad was like, if you want that crocheted into something, I can do it. And I'm like, it's been sitting in my house for 2 or 3 years at this point. So I just sent it to her. I had no idea what she was going to do with it. I was like, here is this precious yarn that we have extracted from our dogs and had spun into these skeins. And today she sent back this crocheted golden retriever. It's a foot tall, and it's got these big brown eyes. It is I cried when I saw it. It is the cutest
sweet
thing.
Yeah, it looks sweet.
She crocheted to go with it so it wouldn't get hungry. A little turquoise plate, just like Vink's bowl, that had some meatballs, crocheted green beans, crocheted carrot, and crocheted a blauhai, a little blauhai to go with it.
It is adorable. It is like
It's the
really
cutest
adorable.
thing. So I think we should name this new dog Waffles.
I think that's a great name.
It's a great name.
Vink almost ate it.
All the dogs were very curious about it because it smells like dog.
Yeah.
It smells like a dog or a
Kind of like them.
combo
some of them.
dog. Yeah. So anyway, there is a new dog, Waffles, in the house. It's now up on a very high shelf.
Waffles is low maintenance, and we probably won't need pet insurance for Waffles.
Thank God, man. So that's good. So thank you to the friend of the squad for that. Also, thank you. So, people send us stuff to our P.O. Box, 1107 Key Plaza, number 202, Key West, Florida, 33040. If you want to send any cards and stuff to the dogs, we get graduation announcements, we get wedding invitations.
Yeah, we're open for everything.
All kinds of stuff. And so someone sent us completely anonymously a bunch of coupons for free Taco Bell tacos.
Yes.
There's no return address. There was no note. It was just coupons for Taco Bell tacos.
Yeah, they could be of uncertain provenance.
Anyway, it's awesome because that's exactly what we get. It's like one free crunchy taco with a purchase. And so we go and we get nacho fries for us, and then we get a crunchy taco for Guac. And so now we have coupons for like a bunch of free ones. It's so nice. So I try my best to send thank you notes to everybody when I've got like their @ handle or, a user, something, an email address. So if you do send us anything, put that on there because, when people send us stuff, I try to write back. But this one didn't have any identifying information. So thank you to whoever sent us the taco coupons.
Yes, they're being put to good use.
Guac.
Now that nacho fries are back, we're back on the Taco Bell wagon.
Nacho fries are so good, man.
They were gone for a few months.
Yeah, I don't know why they take them away. I guess to make us come back a whole bunch when they return.
I think they're miscalculating the extent to which we would just keep going.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Guac had a taco today. Hop's got a bite of it too.
Guac is so lucky that he's not on a diet plan. He's the one who's never had an issue. He just is lanky all the time.
So Hops has always had a very sensitive digestive system, and kind of leading up to Maryland and then in Maryland, and then since we were back from Maryland, she's been having kind of off and on diarrhea, more on than off, I think. And so we took her up to the vet a few weeks ago. Jared Dad actually took her. And so they gave her a whole bunch of different probiotics and some Flagyl, which is like really great metronidazole, which helps stop diarrhea, and some special food. And it worked great. She was all better. And then as soon as we put her back on what she had been eating for years, she got diarrhea again. So
Yeah.
I called the vet and I'm like, come on. And he's like, well, normally it's either, an allergy or a parasite. And we tested for parasites and that's not it. And we tried the food solution. He's like, so you should probably take her to an internist just to make sure. I'm like, she has been like this her whole life. He's like, she could have like inflammatory bowel disease or something like that.
Oh.
He's like, the solution ends up being put him on Flagyl in the food that she's been on. So, we will take her to see an internist when we go back up to Maryland, probably late in the fall. But in the meantime, we put her on this kind of special food. And I was like, Ingo, we now have 6 dogs and 6 different types of food. Guac's the only one on food that you can get at the store. Everything else is a prescription food.
Yeah.
And you said that they mentioned at the vet that this food that we put Hopper on was good for all kinds of different things.
Yeah, the tech was like, oh, you can use it for a diabetic dog too. It's glycobalanced. And then we looked at the bag.
So it's good for weight loss and dogs with diabetes, and it's like hydrolyzed protein, so good for dogs with allergies. So that checks off Remy, Chief Brody, Vink, and Hops. And
That's pretty good.
4 dogs we're shifting them off of all their different foods onto this one new food. And so basically we're going to have the seizure keto food for Vodes. We can Guac actually could eat this food too, but we could keep him on the
Guac can eat everything.
half-priced stuff that you can get. It's like we buy expensive food that, like, it's not grocery store food, right? Like you have to go to a pet store.
Some of it is vet prescribing or veterinary practice food, right?
Not not Guac's food.
No. Guax is like regular.
Everybody else is on
Grocery
prescription
store.
food.
Yeah.
No, you can't get, what I'm saying is you cannot buy Guac's food at the grocery store.
True.
You can buy it at a pet store, and it is expensive compared to grocery store food, but it's quite a lot cheaper than the prescription dog food.
Yeah, we're just moving from expensive dog foods to expensive dog foods at this point.
For all the other dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guac's a bargain.
So that's the food situation. I got a paddleboard this week, a stand-up paddleboard, and I was like, one thing that would be nice is to bring my dog on this paddleboard. And I was like, let's try it with Hops. So I brought Hops out and I got her on there, and she was really good. She laid there. So I did it on my knees the first day to keep us balanced. And the second time I was like, all right, Hops, I'm going to stand up. She thinks it's great. She just cruises around.
She's happy to be with you.
She thinks it's awesome. And then we went out today and I got back in and I was like, let's try Vink. Put Vink up there. She's like, this is great. I don't have to do anything.
It's like watching TV.
Lay on this board and get paddled around. Awesome. So I at least have 2 new paddleboard dog pals, which is pretty great.
I did not get a paddleboard because I can swim without it. The last 3 times I've gotten up on a paddleboard, it's been...
You got off the paddleboard pretty quickly and
involuntarily.
involuntarily.
Involuntarily. I've been getting better. The time between jumping, falling in has increased, but I still don't quite have it where I'm confident enough not to just fall in randomly.
You're welcome to practice on mine anytime.
I think I try to go too fast. It's definitely possible.
It is supposed to be relaxing.
I also just learned I was holding the paddle wrong way, but there you go.
I mean, it's counterintuitive. Like the paddle kind of, it's a straight up and down pole that you hold on to. And then the paddle part at the end, it kind of leans in one direction and it's supposed to lean forward. So you put it in the water with the paddle leaning forward.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah. Anyway,
that wasn't my problem though. I just fell in. I mean, it wasn't really having the thing the wrong way.
It may be easier with a dog on the paddleboard because it's like a low down weight in the middle.
Yeah, but you're good at it without a dog too. Thanks. Though.
I am, but
yeah, definitely I should have a dog. Definitely I should.
Yeah,
have
try it with Hops.
I need one of those big keels like for the America's Cup that just keeps it, keeps it up. I can stand on the edge with my toes and it still won't flip over.
Paddleboard training wheels.
A big keel, like a cement keel.
So Vood continues into his physical therapy. He's, I got to say, much more mobile this week. He's standing up more. And so today he was ready to go for walkies in the morning, which is great. And
he loves it when you bring out the leashes.
So I walked him all the way to the end of the block. This is the farthest he's gone since his surgery. And it was great. And then he laid down. And I was like, God damn it. So try to pick him up. So I'll pick up his kind of back middle, right? I'll kind of reach under his stomach section and lift it up with the idea that he will then come forward under his front legs. And he's like, just his front legs staying down, just flopping there. Try to pick up his front legs, just collapses down. As I'm doing this nonsense at 8 a.m, a very nice new neighbor who has 2 dogs comes walking along. And she's like, is he friendly? As he's laying there. And I was like, yes, he will not do anything to your dogs.
Almost non-responsive.
And so I chatted with her for a while and I was like, he does this. I'm like, he just had the surgery, but he did it before the surgery. And so she reasonably thinks that she's going to start walking down our street with her dogs and I'll come with her and then Voods is going to follow. Nope. Voods is like, great, get out of here. This is where I'm staying.
I can do this for hours.
She's like, do you want me to go get my car? And I was like, I'll get him. And I did eventually get him. Normally I bring snacks.
Yeah.
And he was so enthused this morning. I was like, I don't need snacks.
9 times out of 10, it works these days. He loves to walk. Okay. 4 times out of 10.
4 times out of 10, it works without a bribe. But anyway, he made it all the way to the end of the block and back, which is great. He also wanted to go for a walk tonight, but I could tell he was a little sore, so I didn't take him.
I did take him for a car ride too, so his brain might be full.
Oh, he loves the car so much.
He does.
So that's Foods. Remy is getting his balls cut off on Friday. I'm so excited. We did his glucose curve on Friday or Saturday, and it was pretty good. Not quite as low as we wanted, but I emailed the vet. So we lowered him down. Everything okay?
Thanks licking her paw. I don't like it. Pink little paw.
He just pointed at her accusingly.
It was enough.
So anyway, we did the glucose curve, not quite as low as we wanted. So we increased his insulin 1 more unit. We're going to do another glucose curve tomorrow, but we spot checked it yesterday and it was in the 200s, which is exactly what we wanted. Everything is on track. So barring any weird blood test results tomorrow or Friday when we drop him off, getting fixed finally on Friday.
And he's been good, but I keep remembering he's on trazodone every day too. So he's medicated to be calm.
His humping has definitely gotten better. He's not really doing that anymore.
Yeah.
But he's also not perfect. And part of it, I think, is the blindness that, he'll get nervous about something or get upset and he doesn't know where the other dogs are. And so, it's rare, but if that were to continue, where he'll sometimes bark, 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 kind of upset at another dog, we would probably find a different home to adopt him at that way, which would be super sad because he's such a sweet boy.
He is a sweet boy.
We don't want that kind of tension in the house. We've curated a very mellow house, even with all the chaos. It's very mellow. There's no tension between the dogs.
Right.
And so we wouldn't introduce another dog permanently who caused tension, which he still does sometimes. So hopefully, once we get him fixed and then hopefully if he gets his cataract surgery, which looks like it's going to happen, then we'll get him trained and he'll be better.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, ball's coming off on Friday. Oh, God, it's going to be such a relief. So that's the dog updates. Ingo, you have printed out the taste of the keys for this week.
Yeah, I got to put glasses on. Hang on. Hold on. It's real small. Okay. I'm not even going to read the headline because, as usual, it gives everything away.
It does.
So, Keys news from August 6th, it was.
It was the day after our podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, just bad timing.
Well, no, it's good timing because we got it for this week.
And this is pretty well written. This is not from Conch Life. This is from Miami.
Gwen Fialosa, I bet.
It is, yep. Yes. A bunch of friends were on vacation this week in the Florida Keys. But during an early morning argument at a fancy resort just outside of Key West city limits, the party apparently went south. Make that deep south. It's not actually a deep south pun, but anyway. One man began shoving several friends to the ground and then used his teeth as a weapon, according to Monroe County Sheriff's Department.
Using one's teeth as a weapon sure sounds like biting someone when they did not ask you to.
There was no consent. So here's the story. James, he's 45, of Port St. Lucie in Florida, bit off part of one friend's ear during the scrap that happened at 2:30 a.m. on Thursday. Deputies reported. Nothing good happens after midnight. And
also, nothing good happens when you bite your friends when they did not ask you to.
I mean, friend should be in quotes, but it's not. It's friends. The 26-year-old man on the receiving end of the bite was left bloody and without a piece of his ear when deputies arrived. That's bad when it's missing.
Was it his dad? 45 is old enough to be the dad of the 26-year-old.
Friend.
Okay.
The victim said that
I gotta say, hang on. I'm 44. Do I have any friends who are 25?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I got some people I'm friendly with. All right, anyway. Continue.
He's 28, too.
28.
Much older than
okay.
25. But still, 28 to 45.
Could I by the rule, date someone who is 27? Half your age plus 7, 22? I could not.
I mean, there's a logical reason why you wouldn't want to anyway, besides the mathematics.
Yes, okay. Anyway, please.
So
continue.
the victim told the deputies, the group, so these people, 2 people are in the same group, was staying at Ocean's Edge Resort and Marina, Key West.
Been there?
It's on Stock Island.
There. Yeah, it's nice.
When one woman passed out of the group.
Okay.
Williams, the 45-year-old biter, placed her in a wheelbarrow meant for hotel maintenance crews to use and was pushing her back to a room.
The wheelbarrow is probably the best part of the story.
It's terrible.
If I had to wheelbarrow you anywhere, Ingo, we'd be in couples counseling the next day.
Yeah.
And honestly, you should be in some kind of alcohol treatment program the next day.
I don't know you ever have to wheelbarrow me anywhere. This isn't Mission Impossible. I'm not trying to escape anywhere. You just leave me. It's fine. Anyway, so he was pushing her back to a room when things took a turn, deputies said. This is weird. A weird turn. Williams, the biter, began dumping beer on her while insulting her. Nothing good happens after midnight, guys.
And they're not nice insults either. They're not like,
no.
You smarty pants.
No, I'm sure it was worse than that. It's like,
Yeah.
nerd. No, it doesn't actually say.
I'm pretty sure they were misogynistic.
I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
The 28, which begs the question, why put her in the wheelbarrow if you're just going to insult? Just put her down and walk away.
If you ever dumped beer on me and insulted me, I don't know if I'd even bother with the couples counseling.
Dude, I wouldn't even put you in a wheelbarrow. Don't worry.
I mean, there may be times where that would be appropriate. We have not encountered those times, but I could maybe see it.
I think it's more likely you'd have me in a wheelbarrow. You're sturdier than I am.
No,
I'm fragile.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, he was dumping beer on her while insulting her. So the victim, the ultimate victim, said he intervened, this 28-year-old, telling Williams he's being disrespectful. Well, that's not bad,
True facts.
younger man. Williams got angry, and when his friends tried to calm him down, he shoved one woman to the ground, deputies said. This is a great group of quote-unquote friends, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Williams shoved another woman to the ground when she tried to make peace by getting between the two men, deputy says. What is this, like breaking up a dog fight? This is ridiculous, people.
Also, don't let your dogs fight.
Correct. Squirt him with a hose or something, isn't that the thing? Williams then pushed the male victim to the ground and began choking him.
So everyone has been pushed to the ground.
Everyone's pushing everyone to the ground.
I think just Biter's pushing everyone to the ground.
Yeah, Biter's being a jerk.
Now he's choking the guy.
Choking the guy. The male victim stated that Williams bit part of his ear off while others were trying to separate them.
Yikes.
I guess the female victim is the one in the wheelbarrow.
Well, there's another female victim who tried to
Pushed
intervene.
to the ground. Yes,
Yeah.
that's bad.
I'm reading it as 3 women victims, 1 male victim, and the biter.
It's really everyone's a victim except the biter.
Well, yeah.
He's just a jerk.
Fuck that guy.
Williams walked away, and deputies were called in, along with a canine unit.
Oh, was it Coral? She's a drug stiffer, but
It doesn't say, to track him down. He was taken to jail and remained in jail on an $80,000 bond. There were no life-threatening injuries.
just
Although
ear
the
threatening.
Ear messing is pretty bad. So this is just so good that somebody got bitten without their consent. And what do we always say?
Don't bite anyone unless they ask you. I have a Twitter account, Don't Bite Anyone. It's at Don't Bite Anyone. It is just me collecting news of people who bit someone without being asked to. Generally, people who got arrested because they bit somebody. All I tweet is, don't bite anyone unless they ask you to, and then the story from the news. And I gotta say, from this experience, I mean, I'm probably the world's expert in terms of non-consensual biting incidents. And the ear is the most common place that one is bitten.
Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of ear biting. I think because it hangs down, right? Like if I want to bite you on the face.
Yeah, but also when you're like wrestling or choking, right? Your mouth is near the ear.
Yeah. But it could, like biting the cheek is
It
weird.
is an appendage. Yeah. It's
like bite your eyebrow.
It's
like
a defenseless appendage.
Mm-hmm, it's kind of sticking out. It fits in the mouth.
Yeah, you wouldn't bite a finger because it's going to poke you.
If somebody stuck their finger in my mouth, I would absolutely bite that finger off.
Well, yeah, but if you're trying to bite someone's finger, they'll probably like poke you with it or punch you or something, right? You don't want to get too close to a hand if you're trying to bite someone, but the ear it's defenseless, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't go towards the hand, but if the hand were near the mouth, I'd bite it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the ear is just sticking out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think an old ex-girlfriend once tried to stick something in my mouth and I bit her finger.
Oh my God.
It was not a popular move.
I mean, I think you're justified.
I was not consenting.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
also,
food, but still.
Don't stick anything in anybody's mouth unless they ask you
It
to.
was food, but it was not welcome.
No. I had my college boyfriend, the one who's dead now.
Well,
He once tried to get me to eat. We were at a restaurant, like a campus restaurant,
You have bad stories about
This
dates
guy.
in restaurants. Go ahead.
I have bad dates.
You do.
This guy, he was trying to get me to taste something, and I was like, no, man, I don't want it. And he's like, here, take this. And I'm like, I don't want it. And he's like pushing it in my face. He made me put it towards my mouth. And I reached over and I grabbed it off the fork in my fist, and I raised my fist over my head and I threw it down on the ground. Splat! And I said, I don't want it. Everybody in the restaurant turned and looked. I had 0 things to drink. I did not drink at this point in my life. I just was not making the point clear to this guy, apparently, that I did not want the thing that he kept pushing. So I picked it up and I splatted it on the ground, and I very loudly declared that I don't want it. And he stopped trying to get me to eat it.
Oh my God, that's so like a movie scene where everything stops and everyone turns around and looks. Like people's forks are halfway to their mouth and they go, "Ah, what's that?
It was like
what are
that.
they gonna do?"
And I mean, like on one hand, it was a very kind of 5-year-old move. Throw food on the ground and say, at the same time, like, stop trying to stick this whatever lasagna in my mouth that I don't want.
That's a complete trigger to anyone's 5-year-old self because you're being treated like a 5-year-old. Like, who sticks food in someone's mouth that doesn't want it?
Yep. I'm with you.
Bad dating. Guy was an asshole.
I got bad history. All right. You got German word of the week for us?
Yeah, I don't know if I've done it before.
Tell me.
Unwetter.
I'm just going to have to consult the wiki.
We have a handy dandy wiki that where someone is so nice and lists the every German word of the week and every drink cocktail of the week too. So if anyone wants to look it up, yes, they're awesome.
Is it UNW?
Yes.
It is not. You have not done it.
Okay. Unwetter. Speaking of the hurricane or the tropical depression,
unweather.
Yeah.
Unweather.
Well, it means bad weather.
Oh, bad weather.
Or like thunderstorm, ein Unwetter.
Unwetter.
Like a storm. A storm.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so it's weather, but it's unweather. I've done this with some other word where it's like an un something.
When I took German class in high school, we learned a little song, and it was, can I remember the song? It went, Hallo Lutz, 2 people.
Yeah.
Like writing back and forth to each other because there was not texting at the time. Hallo Lutz. Ja, wie geht's? Es geht gut. Wie ist das Wetter? Ziemlich cool. Und in Jamaica, heiß und schwul.
Cool.
Yeah, ziemlich cool.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Cool und schwül. Yeah, you want to be pronouncing that correctly. There's an umlaut in schwül, which means humid.
Schwul.
Schwül. If you
What
say
is schwul?
Homosexual.
I mean, also true. Heiß und
schwül. That was like a joke
Mix
that
it.
every German, grade schooler
hot and
makes.
gay
It's
or
like,
hot and humid. Oh, that's even better.
But cool rhymes with schwül, right?
Yeah.
So if I thought it was cool, but then schwul rhymes with cool. So it's very complicated.
Anyway, that's why I know the weather word.
Yes. Well, who were the you used to make these little German lesson cartoons, Paula and
Marcus
and
Paula. When I was at some point, I regularly try to build up my German, and I had gotten, I think they were literally CDs that I could play in my car, and so it's like these little lessons, and it was the most
bizarre situations and scenarios.
So here's what I remember most from that. There's these little conversations, and this conversation was, Ich habe eine halbe Stunde auf dich gewartet. Hast du kein Handy dabei? Which means, I waited for you for half an hour. Don't you have a cell phone?
They were all assholes.
It was
they were all jerks.
Yelling at each other
Right.
was the lesson. Yeah, so I would draw these little stick figure comics for GR Dad from Paula and Marcus, and be like, Paula and Marcus they went on a vacation.
Yeah, and they just sat at the beach.
Sie haben die
ganze Zeit
gestritten, I learned. They argued the entire time. And so there's like a tiny little island with a palm tree in the middle, and Paula's on one side and Marcus is on the other, and they're both sitting on their butts with their knees pulled up facing opposite directions with angry eyebrows. Yeah, I would draw dear dad these little comics.
Yeah,
and
one was about, du hast wieder zu viel Fleisch gegessen. There was something there.
Like Marcus is locked in the bathroom, and Paula's like, did you eat too much meat?
But these are all like situations from your Learn German textbook.
in the CDs. And I think your parents came once, and they were like, did Eva draw these? And I was like, no, Jen drew those. He was like 11 at the time. Jared's daughter.
I mean, this is another thing that you can do. If anything ever dries up, you can always do cartoons.
My stick figure comics are pretty good.
Yeah, stick figure you can do. You do good dog drawings.
Cows
Cows are very
little
good.
cow cartoons.
With and without barbed wire, but you can do like dogs and stick figures.
Dog, cows, and stick figures.
Yep.
Yeah, those were fun.
Very expressive.
I'm on sabbatical this coming academic year, so no teaching, no meetings. Though I've already roped myself into a couple things. It's always how it is. But one of my sabbatical commitments is to like work really hard on my German for 9 months. Yeah. So maybe, Dad, you should speak to me auf Deutsch a little more at home.
Okay.
Teach me some
As
words.
you wish.
Okay. All right. So that concludes the business for this episode. Next episode is our 200th episode.
It's going to be, I mean, we can't do fireworks because of, sensitive dogs.
Yeah. Freak CB out. Oh, speaking of, there is this other little piece of dog news. So a friend of the squad was like, I know you don't like unsolicited medical advice, but I saw this thing. So the AKC has on their website this little thing which sends electromagnetic waves into the dog's brain that is supposed to make them less anxious. You're supposed to do it twice a day for 4 to 6 weeks, and it's supposed to reduce like separation anxiety and all kinds of anxiety. That thing's like $200.
It's a ring that goes, it's like a halo.
It is. It looks like a halo, and you can buy a vest that it like Velcros onto that holds it over their head, or you can just hold it there. So I did not buy the vest because it already was like the vest was like $80. I was like, this is stupid. I'm already embarrassed. I'm spending this much money on it. If it doesn't work, I'm going to return it. But
I'm going to try it.
It's apparently the same technology is approved for people, so you can try it.
I'm not afraid of fireworks now, though. How
I
do I
think
do
it should
this?
just generally bring your anxiety level down.
Huh.
So anyway, we got it today. So CB has had one treatment. I mean, it doesn't. I did a lot of research into this before I bought it because I was like, this could be some real quackery nonsense.
The AKC, the American Kennel Society,
As a American Kennel Club.
has it on their website. That's something.
That's something, right?
Yeah.
So that made me go, okay, not total scam. And there's a bunch of research, like published research articles, which I'm good at, looking at and finding on using this particular technology to treat depression in humans. It's, FDA cleared as safe, so it's definitely not going to do any damage.
Huh.
I use similar kind of technology when I had a bruised femur from my running. I got this bone growth stimulator, which is a similar kind of idea. Huh. And it was like, imagine like a cylinder cut in half the long way. So just a half cylinder. And so I'd stick my leg out in front of me on the couch and then put that half cylinder over the part of my bone that was bruised. And you push a button, it doesn't make any noise. It doesn't feel like anything. Seems like it's not doing anything, but it sends electromagnetic waves into your leg that's supposed to help it heal better. My insurance paid for it.
That's amazing.
So it's, who knows if it healed faster or not with the thing, but it's, like the shots that I got from my hamstring injury in May, the insurance didn't cover those because it's considered experimental. The insurance covered that thing. So there seems to be a decent amount of evidence that it could work.
Wow.
And
this should be bigger news. Like, this stuff sounds like pretty revolutionary to some extent.
And, there's not a ton of reviews on Amazon, I think, because it's so expensive. A lot of people aren't going to buy it. But the reviews were pretty positive. I think one person was like, it didn't really seem like it did anything. But a lot of people were like, I've kind of got a new dog. Like, this has really made a difference. So I figure with CB's anxiety escalating as it has, and we get a lot of nervous dogs through here, give it a try. I can always return it if it doesn't work. But
yeah. And he's totally sleeping right now. So, I mean, I think it's 100% working.
I don't know that it's supposed to work after one treatment, but who knows?
Look how calm he is.
Such a good boy.
He's so peaceful. If we think it works, we should borrow someone's Doberman Pinscher or Chihuahua and see if it calms them down.
Chihuahua, yeah.
Like the Chihuahua could jump through the thing like a hoop, but still that could be like calming jumps.
If it works, I'm going to make them let us be their next sponsor.
Yeah, we'll buy vests and all our dogs will carry these little halos around.
God. I was thinking, if it
mellow.
works, we can do it for every dog. And then it's going to be, so it's a 15-minute treatment twice a day. So we have 6 dogs. So that's 3 hours a day that we would be.
No, we'd have to tell them to send us a bunch of these.
Please send us 6. And we're just going to line them all up.
We need 6. And if we get them all to be super mellow, we could get another one.
Ugh.
Then we could have 7 because they would all just be super mellow.
That's too many dogs and go.
Yeah, let's try Guac and see if it calms him down. He's really the cause.
He's not anxious, though.
No, but he causes chaos. And so does Vink, actually.
Yeah, it's not for that.
Vink is super not anxious. She's barely self-aware, but she causes a lot of chaos with her.
It's not for chaos.
She's like a tiny elephant in a china shop.
All right, so anyway, next week, episode 200, unless like something dramatic happens in between, in which case episode 200 is going to be sort of a dud of a celebratory episode because it'll be like, oh, actually, like one of the dogs got blown away in a tornado but survived and landed in Hialeah. And I mean, that actually would be a really good episode.
Came back on a paddleboard. Good thing we taught Hopper to use one. Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's going to be 199A. That's not going to be 200.
That's true. No. So we're going to figure out something amusing to do for number 200 next week.
Yeah, not eating anything gross, though. It might involve alcohol,
Never
but
again.
not eating anything
Oh,
gross.
yeah, we're going to have a great cocktail of the week.
We were both really cynical about that peanut thing.
That thing was stupid, and I did not need it in my life at that point, and we're not doing that again. Don't send us any more stupid, spicy challenges, anybody.
But crocheted dogs are fine.
Yeah, crochet is welcome. All right. In the meantime, don't bite anyone unless they ask you
No,
to.
you go to jail.
Bye.
Bye.